Welcome to ESL Pro League, live from the Intel Esports Arena. We are plugged in once again this week for a fabulous day of games. However, there has been a bit of an issue. We have lost one of our soldiers. A fallen brethren has taken a hit on the battlefield and has been sent home. SEO, you're here to replace him. Snods is gone.
Just gonna have to... Sad times, really, here at Pro League.
It is rough, and we'll take a few seconds of silence there for Snods. And now let's get back on with the show.
Yeah.
It's time for Pro League, Ben.
Yeah, it's better without him anyway.
Exactly. We'll forget about that. You're much better. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, actually. My throat feels fine.
That's good. That is always ideal to have. And we can recap yesterday's show, having a look at the results of what exactly went down to refresh everyone's memories, as we had some actually quite tasty games, Ben. To kick it off, it was G2 going up against NiP. That was a double win for them as well, walking away with a full 6 points from that series, a 16-2 and a 16-5 win. We then saw Astralis versus Hellraisers, again carrying on the trend of very one-sided games. They grabbed 6 points from that as well, but the last game of the night was a bit more interesting.
Yeah, on paper, you're always thinking big. They have that chance to take one of the maps, right? Cash wasn't the map that most people would say that they would take, though, because it's a bit more of an aim-centered map.
Yeah. And
from what I saw during it, it was quite surprising. FaZe weren't hitting the shots they would normally land.
Exactly. I mean, to start it off, it was a very one-sided affair, right? And then it started to go into more of a back-and-forth game, very close for quite a few rounds. Nico was essentially just trying to hard carry FaZe in a lot of rounds. 5k, 4k, 5k, just stepping up massively. Even on rounds where they only had Deagles to their names, he was popping off, Ben. But when it came down to the crunch, Big just seemed to actually have their number by the second half.
Yeah, it's always been that map for Nico, isn't it? There was that one clip, if you remember, on A-side Cash with the Deagle. It was just like, what can you actually do? And it was very similar to that, right? And you can't rely on that, is the other thing. You can't just do that every map. Very reminiscent of the old Mouse sort of situation. When you're surrounded by Guardian, Rain, Olaf, Karrigan even. You shouldn't have to do that in that team. No,
that is very true. So they did split the series. They both walk away with 3 points, which, all things considered, that's a pretty good affair. Let's see how that affected the standings as well, because it's a big upset win. That is another map that has been dropped now by FaZe. Astralis still very firm at the top of the scoreboard, and it's crazy how many points they've achieved in the same games plays as some of these other squads.
Yeah, the big thing, like you mentioned about Big, they've technically taken a map off Astralis now and FaZe. That's the top two in the league right now. So regardless of how you want to think, Big, a bit of a niche pick in some people's minds, they think, just got the preparation, they have this advantage. Whereas they're proving right now that they're capable, even if it's online games, they are capable. On the other side of that though, NiP, 2 wins in 12. I remember the first week, we didn't see that first game, did we? We saw Space Lord just demolished them. We were just like, maybe after LAN they just didn't quite feel up to it. Apparently they still are not up to it, and we are going to be getting them today as well, so hopefully it needs to be changed right now, because otherwise it's getting too late.
It's really rough for NiP, and this is sort of quite a big point to send home as well. Currently in 13th position. Yesterday they were in 12th, but that was because of the inflation, because Fnatic hadn't really played any of their games. They've now started to get games on the board, Ben, and you can see NiP starting to shape up as if they could be another one of these absolutely legendary teams to be forced out of Pro League. This might be another Virtus Pro on our hands.
I'm just looking at the round difference, because I was thinking NiP after playing 12 and losing 10. They've only got minus 66. Along the top of it, you see Heroica sat at minus 71.
Yeah.
That's out. That seems so out of this world, considering they're 5 or technically 6 and 6, say, just because that one win in overtime. But as you mentioned, Virtus Pro, it's that bottom spot. If you finish 14th, you're straight relegated. There's no battle.
Yeah. So NiP, they do have at least a bit of a fighting chance there, potentially, if they can try and scrape away from that. But let's get into the games for today. Today's schedule, as you said, the opening matchup is going to be Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're facing off against Big. Now, Big Clan have looked pretty damn good in recent form, especially after last night's display, where it almost felt as if they threw away the potential to get 6 points from FaZe.
Yeah, it's one of those things where at the start of the day you say, you'll get 3 points today. They would be fine with that, right? But after seeing how they played, they will have been thinking, we should have probably got all 6, actually. But at the end of the day, you have to think, fine, it happened. We can't really keep thinking about that. We've got more games.
Yeah.
They're playing 4 different maps today as well. 4 unique maps, technically.
which is crazy as well, considering the actual repetitiveness we've had there with Overpass 3 times yesterday, Dust 2, 3 times the day before. Now we're actually getting into a little bit more variation, and this could be quite a spicy affair. To kick it off, it's a big game, then going straight in versus Space Soldiers. If they can have a big win, try and build their confidence versus NiP, that could actually be a bit of an interesting one. But Space Soldiers have looked pretty darn good online so far.
Yeah, they were always that, like, even last season, they were kind of a surprise package in some senses, right? We all knew they were pretty good online. It's just because we hadn't seen them at events as often, we didn't really know what to expect. They showed they were really damn good online. Even now, they're showing they're really good. There was that Astralis game we saw during week 1, which, phenomenal game, really. Probably the game of, like, Pro League this season so far. And we're going to see them on Inferno against Big, which is... Arguably, they've been playing it a lot, but they haven't actually looked great on it. Like they've always got a nice lead, and then they've kind of slipped up a bit, is what I've noticed.
And that's going to be rough. Space Soldiers not going to want to walk away without a big win there. And finally, Fnatic with the new roster facing off against Astralis, Ben.
Yeah, so Brolan only got signed on to Fnatic, I believe, on Monday. And they played 2 games yesterday. I think they went 6 points out of the possible 12, which that's perfectly fine. You know, you've got 26 games in a season anyway. That's perfectly fine. If you go half and half, you'll do quite well. But Astralis, that's a big ask on maps like Inferno and Train. Like, Astralis did drop a map, I believe, yesterday on Train. And that's, that's a shakiness, but they're not bad on Train is the other thing as well. Like, Device on Train is phenomenal.
Yeah, and those are 2 really quite one-sided maps. I mean, Astralis definitely going to be favoured in that series. It seems like it could be quite a one-sided day, really, potentially, for some of these games. Yeah, I think
it depends how do NiP start off, right? Because we know online, it's all well and good to say online CS is different to LAN. It is. But then there's the motivational side of it, the drive, right? Sometimes you die online and you feel like that wouldn't happen at LAN. And these old players, Get Right Forest, they've played so many LANs, they played so many online games, they know there's a huge difference, and they get kind of annoyed by that, by looks things. And they start performing a bit worse, and they don't seem to, I wouldn't say I put it in, as in this is 100% fact, but they don't seem to care as much. Right, they'll just take a loss online and be like, whatever.
Yeah.
In person, it's different. Like, the motion is there, it's flowing. You see, like, a crowd, for example. Whereas now, they've just got, the game finishes, quitting console, done. That's it.
Yeah, it's over at that point. And the complete flip side of that is a team like Astralis, that where we've seen them playing these online games throughout the league, still playing 100% towards their caliber. It seems very slow, very methodical. They're not rushing into anything. Even when they do get an advantage, they're still not getting overconfident. They've been playing incredibly well CS, and obviously right now you expect them to. I mean, they're on top of the world when it comes to how well they've been performing. The entire team, every player has just looked phenomenal, and they're keeping that up. They've been having some great games, and I mean, it's reflected. Very, very firmly stuck there at the top of the leaderboard. You just wonder if anyone can actually knock them off that position.
You could argue it's that sports psychologist part of it, right? Having somebody who's not from esports, but also from sports where they do have to take everything fully serious. Like a practice game, it might be a practice game, but you still take it as if you need to get better at the game. It's not just a throwaway game. It doesn't matter if you lose 30-0, that's fine. As long as you're practicing correctly, right? You're doing new setups, you're practicing your strats, all this other stuff. Whereas some of these teams, you do see them possibly being a bit reserved, I guess. Whereas, as you mentioned, Astralis, they play the same game they would. But it's because that big playbook they have as well. They're able to use this one play in this map, next map completely different. It's a crazy situation to be in. They've got the backing and they're using it correctly, which I do love to see it.
It's very smart. Good use of their time. Let's have a look at the odds for this one as well before we finally delve into the series. 1.6 for Big versus NiP's 2.1. So it is in favour of Big. And, I mean, fair play to them. In recent form, I feel like you've got to give them the one-sided odds here.
It's not too surprising, right?
No.
If you consider NiP 13th, Big 5th, recent form alone, that gives it that. But if, I do have the previous match that they played on Cash. Happened in Season 6, so it's quite a while ago. Kiev was playing, Legio was playing for Big. Then you also had Draken Exist. NiP took that game 16-7, which I think this was around the time where NiP started playing Cash more. Yeah. Because if you remember, there was the game against Vegas Squadron where they didn't qualify for the major qualifier, I think it was, against Vegas Squadron, and they got demolished on it. They then played it loads and actually, were able to use it as their own pick. So hopefully, considering we haven't seen these two play that map in a while, we might see something a bit better from Big in this part.
Potentially so. It could leave us with some interesting CS, but we are going to be delving into it. Big over on the T side, NiP going to be starting off on the CT side, Ben.
Yeah, so Godby's thrown a decoy there. I believe that would land in front of quad, just to see if it'll throw them off a bit. That doesn't seem to have done anything. Instead, nice little bait setup there on A as well. One player playing NBK, and the other peeking to get the actual information. So if you think about how they're playing this fully, so you got Rez playing B site properly, Forest is playing in CT, so it's like a half. Forest will take that first hit, and then they'll think we're playing retake. But the first bit of contact, Get Right gets taken down by Nex. It was a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, but the question is how much info did he actually get? It was just the one kill that was seen.
We're in that 4-on-4 now. There's a minute on the clock, and the aggression is coming out over towards the B site. Big, they looked good on Cash yesterday. Can they keep it up again this time? Smooya and Tizian, they work together to burn Forest out of position as they start that Forest fire. Smooya with a Glock as well, overthrows Rez. And it does just fall onto Dennis and Lekro then. It's a 2 versus 3 retake. They're trying to get the early info. They don't look too favoured into this one.
There's no kit either. They need to get kills quite quickly. And Lekro's starting off strong, 2v2 now. Already into the site as well. But the Glock instant dink, it's just Dennis, but he's a phenomenal pistol player. But can he get it done?
Drops down, taking so many shots on the way through. He's just so weak at that point, and Nex will be able to capitalise. Takes him down big. They get that opening round win on that T-side pistol.
It's a very good move for them to have Nex starting off strong, because he's one of those players who seems to be quite streaky. Like, he'll have games sometimes where he is like 3-10 or something. But then I remember there was a game at the Major where he was like 2-for-14. They were winning like 10-5 as well.
Yeah.
He gets an ace on the pistol round, and then he actually ends the game positive. It was just like, okay, I guess that's happened. So 3 kills staff is good.
We do see a lot of those players though where it seems like confidence frags instantly just bring them back into the game. You know, if you have a bit of a slow start, it really feels like they can take a while to get themselves into it mentally and lag behind. NiP just going to be waltzing their way back up towards the A site, taps him with an AK, taking easy pot shots out, but he is being dinked down.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, they might be getting onto the site, Ben, but they're not looking too healthy about it.
And this is an NiP who have not bought a single thing, right? They're using just USPs. They are planning to buy into that 3rd round. And I noticed that was something that a lot of teams were not. They weren't going for that force buy. When on paper, to me, it just always felt like you may as well force buy just because you'll have an even better 4th round buy regardless.
Yeah.
So we should see NiP buying in here. I suppose it's the teams that do not like rely on the AWPer that are doing this sort of buy. Because there was something that we saw yesterday, I think it was. Guardian, he went full eco on the pistol.
Yeah.
And if they lose those 2 rounds, he's actually still able to get AWP 3rd. Which is one way of playing the metagame. You see Lekro, he had 4750 exactly. Gets the AWP out. Alright, looks like Big are just going to go for a bit of a slower default. But they have kept 2 SMGs here though. So I wonder what they'll get done with those.
Ooh. Got B with the instant dink there. Gets brought down very low and then finished off by Forest as he will find the initial pick into the round. Survives on 77 HP as well, so a pretty one-sided firefight. Get right with the timing could be very pivotal into this round. They're trying to get that short control. The bomb is right there on Smooya. If he peeks this, Ben, it could go one of 2 ways. Ooh.
That dink from Nex was quite surprising.
Yeah.
But that's the info though for the Supers at Highway. The issue is they're still 2 men down right now. And they don't have anything to really force the AWP position unless Tizian gets there from door, which is unlikely in this situation. The first contact comes there. Forest, he's playing from cars. It's very difficult to push up. Lekro gets involved in the round. 2v5 now. Falling apart from him ultimately.
Yeah, all the peaks going in favour of NiP right now, playing it very systematically. Tizian going to delve his way in towards the bomb site. Does go down. Lekro might not have armour, but if you can't shoot him, it's not going to do anything. He will be able to find that frag, and it goes 2-1 in the scoreline. So NiP making that investment work very well for them.
And despite winning the first 2 big, the money's not too great. Like, they kept 2 SMGs, and even though they did that, you can see the lack of grenades there. Smooya had to go AK armor. You do have 4 smokes at least. I think that's something you can work with. But you've got to be thinking, the longer this round goes on, the worse it gets for Big if NiP hold on to their grenades. So it looks like we're going to see a lot of get right solo mid by looks things in this match. Like NiP, they're willing to just give it up completely. And allow Big to work it up, and they're just running straight out. Having got the first one.
Yeah, just bursting in towards the site. Tabs, and it's a very easy frag to find. Dennis is going to be able to do the old do-si-do and keeps himself alive, taking all of the fights. Actually got the following headshot on Smooya as well. That's ridiculous, Ben. That makes this so much easier now as it falls back into a 2 versus 2.
The Molzar's fully forcing away the possibility of a plant there. The issue is they have forced away the plant, and now they haven't really gained any terrace approach. They delayed the plant by, what, 6-7 seconds? Nothing really. Because the plant will go down now regardless. But the question is, what are they going to do from this retake? Because the T's, they've just used their only flashbang. They need to get off that site. And Forest is going for a very big lurk. So this lurk should work out quite well, because they've smoked A main themselves, makes them think, you know, we're not going to be coming from there. It all depends when does this smoke fade, or does that Forest push through? That's really unfortunate.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, but I think he waits for that smoke to fade, right? Because he didn't need to.
Yeah. They still had the time to play with there. And there's obviously just 2 angles to watch. Next going to be holding the smoke just in case, complementing each other, and they do find those kills. And NiP, the damage already being done to their economy. You can see the reset coming back through. It's not too tidy at all. Dennis is the only one that's really going to reinvest. It's a Deagle that comes out. Rez going to grab the P250. I
do like the choice of not forcing straight back in there. You know, if they get 1900 for this loss, they'll still be able to buy. Yeah. They've been very wary of somebody playing close left mid all game. Like, they've been using a lot of Molotovs towards it as well. That's Smooya. There we go. The Molotov comes out, but Nex kills him anyway.
Yeah, they have an inkling into this, obviously expecting that play from GetRight. Ooh, Smooya gets the pick off towards Rez. They're all just swarming as well. He only has that Glock out, no sidearm with the AWP.
Dennis has got 2 in this round already. It's in favour of an NiP. This is surprisingly winnable. From nothing, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And they can salvage those weapons as well if they want to here. They've got the 1 AK on Lecro right now, but they know the AWP is down towards mid. If they're feeling confident, they can push through, try and recover as many guns as possible. Forest will grab it. They could win on this retake, Ben. I mean, they have a Molotov as well for Lecro.
Good nade.
He launches it out. Oh, Dennis survives on 12 HP. Oh, and now he's done for. Tabson.
I feel like the save will come through. There's no kit. You may as well try and keep your money high. I know that theirs is low because they have 3 people who need to reinvest, but instead, Forest loses that AWP, and they know where Lecro is. Should be a free kill.
Oh.
I feel like as soon as Dennis falls, you have to go, right? You know, 10-second defuse in mind. You had about 25, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
You got to be thinking, next round we could even save this AWP, and we could, if we win the round, we might be able to reset them instantly. And instead, they saved nothing. And ultimately, I think they did grab that AWP back as well.
Yeah, they did.
So that's even worse.
It's the worst possible outcome, really. It is one of those where it felt quite fragmented from NiP on the retake.
Yeah.
You know, you've lost Forest. If you're going to try and go for it, just go for the explosion at that point. Or just completely fall back, save the AWP, and they didn't. So now it's going to be very costly. They completely reinvest, but they're all left on about $100, which isn't great. They are going to try and go for the counter boost play. Is this going to work out?
It all depends on what Nex is looking at. He seems very confident that he can cover that. But how long is Lecro willing to wait up there? Is the question. That Molotov is actually going to force him out. Straight into the eyes of Smooya, gets the first kill, and he gets away as well. GetRight was close mid. Didn't feel like the trade was worth trying to go for it. And on the other side of things, Dennis with the AWP is another interesting one.
It's been actually very nice utility usage from Big so far to force NiP out of position as well. They've kept them completely restricted, not able to play the angles they want. But they can go for the retake. It's a 4-on-4. They've got nades, they've got weapons here, and all importantly, they have kits to play with. Oh, the tag on Next.
That was through to A main, I think.
Yeah.
Question is, when can GetRight actually get involved? Door opens. Nobody really looking at him.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward, but on the site, Tizian. The drive-by headshot on the first man is now just a 2-on-2, but they retake it instantly. Forest finds a frag. Dennis is going to be able to get that shot as well. Luckily, they did have the kits, which is a big play. They're going to be able to get that defuse. It goes 4-2, but that round still looked very messy.
Yeah, considering they got the opening, 2 kills into that retake, GetRight was able to get outdoor, kill someone, and still be able to, potentially pull away. But ultimately, the round win is what was needed. You can see the money on Big. Not great, considering they did actually get a plant on that loss. And it means they're actually not going to be going for a buy here. You can see a very late call there. So 4-2, NiP. Trying to stabilise the economy here. They need to win this one quite cleanly to get a chance at maintaining that. And GetRight's playing close left mid again. So there must have been some kind of read earlier on from Big. Like, they know GetRight, he loves to play close left. If he's not close left, he's probably playing Z. Is by looks at his tendencies, right?
It seems like they have anti-stratted that and known that the position is going to be too common. Because it has been very repetitive in terms of the Molotovs they've been using to try to force him out.
That was a really good nade, surprisingly, from Dennis. I was wondering if it was a smoke or not. But 42 damage is pretty good. So they're just kind of relying on the deals a bit, and they have been able to get to the site, and that's not good at all. Like, there are too many people to aim at.
Yeah, this is rough. They're getting picked to pieces, but at least the damage is going to come back through from Get Right there with the MP5. Smooya does actually catch Rez off guard, and Ben, they're winning the round. They brought it back into their favor majorly here. The only one that is alive for the CT side is going to be Forest, and they're going to be panicked because of this. They begin to fall back. Forest can rotate off. Ooh. Catches Smooya on the ladder. Going to drop the Molotov, which will at the very least block off his angle of opportunity. Runs straight back towards him, just toying with him. Gets the headshot on Smooya. They're all over the place, Ben.
MP5. This is still winnable for Forest. He still has that kit. He's looking for a better gun in the A main. Sadly, there isn't one. But it's planted for A main. And Forest has no other grenades. Unless Forest forces the issue, I think Towson wins this one. Time is ticking away though. We're hitting about 10 seconds left now. Does go for the stick. Towson did see that. This is going to be awfully close. I don't think he's got it though, but it's very, very close. Bailed out, I'd say, for that round. I mentioned they needed to win that cleanly.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of clean, if I'm honest. You know, one guy alive. He does save the AWP, which is the only good thing really other than the round win. And Big will be thinking here, they're still low on money. We can still try and screw them over economically here. It's a very scrappy game. There's been no clean round win from either side. So Forest now picking it up. Third player already in 7 rounds for NiP. I imagine only 3 buy rounds technically as well.
Ooh. 4-3 now in the scoreline. NiP, can they try and equalise this here and get it into a good position? Lekro, a smart play, takes the control towards A main, gets the frag on God B, can drop that smoke as well. The response is there. They're going to be storming up towards him, but the flashbang did actually keep them in disarray. He was able to get the follow-up kill as well, but it falls back into a 3 versus 3, Ben. But Dennis with the kill on Tizian, and things are looking quite reckless now.
Depends if Rez is actually staring towards the smoke. I think they have an inkling. He was staring towards it, but he didn't actually get the drop-off. Smooya now technically a 1v3, now a 1v2. Does he know that Rez is fully onto the site there? Because he does have Get Right coming late behind him. It all depends on what Smooya actually goes for in this round. I think Rez will probably be seeing him any second now. Does get the kill. It was a bit of a dodgy spray, but ultimately the kill is all that was needed. So Big now 4-4. Technically, what, they were 2-0, moving into like 3-1, I think it was. So very, very scrappy, and usually that favours the T side as well, because the money, it never is great for the CT side, the longer this sort of half goes on, with the rounds going as they have been. Neither team really trying to take the game away from the other, are they? They're kind of just both trying to gift it back to one another, currently.
Yeah, it's almost as if, you know, they don't want to take those overall risks. They're not really playing to win right now, just playing not to lose.
Yeah, both teams are hesitant, I guess, right? And Tizian's been loving this door peek so far this game, I think. He's ran door pretty much every round. It's like that guy in matchmaking who will just keep going like Palace or something.
Just plays the one angle every time.
Yeah. And he'll keep dying though. But you know the other team will be thinking, Tizian's in door again.
Oof.
Good trade to get. And if that was the old CZ, I imagine Forest probably wouldn't be alive, if I'm honest, because the long-range difference might have been the difference maker.
Dennis gets a free frag there on God B, the adjustment around, but luckily Lekro was there for the easy kill on Tizian. They do only lose Get Right, so this is a little bit better for NiP. They need to win these rounds, but they need to win them cleanly as well.
So you got to be thinking, this slow call on the buy here, I was going to say is going to be a tactical, because they looked quite hesitant. God B must have been talking, he was like, okay, I'll call a pause. We need to talk about this stuff. You can see that lovely little graphic there that Rob has made.
Yeah.
Nice little tactical thoughts.
Come in, it's nice. It's quite cheeky. Obviously, producer Cat this time around, Ben.
Cat, yeah.
Round of applause. There we go.
Yeah. That was 300 of us in attendance. Though.
Yeah, for all of us here at the Intel Esports Arena. And Jakey back on the obs, obviously after making his Pro League debut as a caster.
Yeah, that's true. It came out of nowhere as well.
Straight out of left field.
Yeah, straight out of left field, straight out of his cold.
Yeah.
Quite out of a few.
Straight out of Snod's clothes.
Yeah, that too as well. So straight out of the pause, it did feel like Big needed a pause because they'd lost like what, the last 5 of 7 rounds, and NiP are reacting to this, sending 3 towards B. So let go of the opening peak, and they're boosting to check Sunroom. This should be a free kill. Can they not see Smokey? He must be crouched just below it. And there we go, the free kill. It was just a matter of time, I think, right? Smokey was always going to either stand up or move away. So that was a really good move from NiP. It's very rare you see that boost work out, in fact. Because normally you see him like hoping, oh, I hope somebody goes Sunroom.
Yeah.
And then it does work out for them. And Big, after pausing, this round isn't looking great again. This is a very forced play from God B.
Oh, the backstab. God B.
That's the bomb down as well.
He's not having the best game today, Ben. Seems like
Next will get a big look though. Depends if his team is going to stay alive.
A little bit of a struggle for him, but the push comes back through. Next with the absolute slap down. We'll get the double kill, but he still has 2 more men to deal with when he extends out towards mid. Rez has the angle with the AK. It's an easy spam, and they get themselves a 6th round. A very bold call from God B.
You can tell though, if he's on 0 kills right now, if that was him on a few more kills, he probably gets that kill on Dennis, right? You know, it was one of those awkward ones where the game is not going right for you right now. And you can't help but feel sorry for them because it's one of those situations. It's very rarely the player itself. Sometimes it just doesn't work for you. In that
Sometimes things just go wrong.
Yeah.
And it can be a bit of a tilter. Obviously, Counter-Strike, very much a game of confidence as well. So if you lose your confidence, you lose the game.
So the B take will be coming through. You've got 3 smokes in play. I won't be surprised if we saw a full B execute where, I was going to say, a smoke CT, perhaps smoke off checkers, as well as the entrance. But all the smoke's coming in. There we go. It's the VP B execute, straight into the spray of Rez and Forrest. There is a player on site.
Oh, Tabson.
What?
Just running around with a Tech 9, Ben, popping people to pieces. Next as well, but the C's there going to get the critical strike on Forrest. Oh, Dennis. Cheeky little heady pop.
Oh, 7 HP. They're living through a tiny little margin here. Lekro, he's got so many grenades coming through this vent. I don't think he'll get a chance to use most of them. Molotov towards blue is an interesting choice. Although Dennis heard that player rotate, I'm pretty sure. There should be a free kill. What?
Oh,
He flicked it
Tabson. With a flick of a lifetime there. The rapid fire reactions, Ben. What a marksman. And that is a really quite big round to win. Impactful stuff coming through. It now goes 6-5, but the cash has been damaged for NiP. If they can equalise this again, take it 6-6, it's looking very reminiscent of what we saw the last time Big were playing cash. I mean, it was very much just trading of rounds until we got into that second half. Big, can they bring the pain on their CT half? That will be the question for me.
Going into an A stack with a fast A rush.
Oh no.
This could be bad.
Oh.
And it started off horribly.
It's not bad, Ben. It's absolutely the worst. But luckily, you've got a man like Nex popping off with a Kalashnikov, slaying everyone until Forrest is there to deny his reign of terror. Falls back into the 2-on-2. Let go tag. Tabson expected it. It all falls on God B, but he couldn't muster it up. And the aggression with the pistols pays off incredibly.
It's one of those unfortunate calls, though. I was saying it, God B, it's nothing to do with how he's playing physically or on this game. It just is one of those games where nothing he calls seems to be going right.
Yeah.
He's called a fast A rush. First time this game, straight
Walked
into 5 pistols. And as soon as you lose that first man on a call like that, the comms just goes chaos. You know,
it's hectic. Everyone calling there's a player here, there's a player there. They've stacked.
And you just start staring at smokes. You're wondering, and then as soon as you turn away, a player rushes through it. And it's the same strats coming through. And this time they're playing close.
Oh. The tags were there, but the pistols do actually overthrow them. And Next, he's been popping off, having a very tremendous game so far. He gets the headshot on Forrest, and maybe that's enough, Ben. They outnumber them. It's 2-1 in terms of the players that are alive right now in favor of Big. They've got site control. The nades will roll in, and they're low. But it is Rez and Get Right on the retake. An AWP and a AK to play with, and it seems like they are going to concede.
Feels like the teams are trying to gift the rounds back to one another right now. Because you can see Tizian, he didn't even buy anything that round. He got a kill with a Glock on the way out. No armor, nothing. And I suppose it did catch NiP off guard that they did just do the same strat after losing it against Nico. But you got to be thinking, if Dennis has an M4 E4 there, he probably gets more than 1 kill. Because he had the Silence M4 close range.
Well, especially as well, if he would have turned from the flashbang, literally like small margin of him being able to at the very least get like 3 frags with that M4 as they push out, compared to the 1 kill. That's the difference maker.
And you know, I mentioned that Nex getting that 3 kills in the pistol, 16 there.
Yeah.
It clearly is one of those players. It's similar to, we always talk about Boaster being like that, right? A lot of players are just they rely on that. Which is such a weird thing to think about, but it's just how they are, right?
We're sort of like,
oh my god.
Oh no.
What's this missed?
Missing the shot, but no one trades it back. They were all so blind. As they were just dazed and confused. The push is coming through as well, trying to just spam them down with the AWP, but missing every possible shot. Luckily, Get Right was there to find 2 at the very least, as it is a 2-on-2 retake. The bomb hasn't gone down the site just yet. tabseN is going to start to make his move over, drops it to tiziaN, who can plant it. He's only got 3 HP, Ben. And look at the utility on NiP. They can blow him out of this site easily.
Tennis is a HE. I'm just wondering when... Oh, there we go. That should be round gone to tiziaN. Now it's just tabseN. He needs 4 kills this round to win it. He's got a lot of utility to use, though. NiP have no kit either. The push needs to come soon.
Ooh, they've hit the 1v1s, Ben. Dennis, he peeked out after the nade had detonated behind him. It's an easy frag for tabseN. It's now just a 1v1 versus Lekro. Lekro realizes he has to force the issue right now. Pushes in, but is the quad kill for tabseN that will save the day. 7-7. This is crazy close. Literally back and forth consistently. It's like a game of tug of war.
You've got to be thinking if Rez gets 1 kill with the AWP, that round is completely different, right? Because he missed that first shot, fine. It was like a half-blind situation. But then the second one he missed again. Third one missed again. It was just like... You know, really unfortunate for him, obviously.
So Godby, Ben, he's not had the best game so far.
0-11, goes to the Creek.
Yeah, he's decided to pick up the Creek.
Might as well.
I think this is the first time I've seen it in Pro League.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because the players that would normally pick it up would be your NBK, who's not in Pro League this season. You've got Magisk would sometimes pick it up, but it depends on what map, right? I always said it, even though the price change came in, it's not good enough of a weapon to use it on every map.
It's not as if the weapon itself was overhauled. It's just the affordability.
It's just the price.
Yeah.
So like a map like Dust 2, it would do really well on. A map like Overpass, I'd say it does quite well on. But you know, Cash, I wouldn't say so.
It's not very necessary. I mean,
Inferno, another one. That's a lot of somewhat close angles.
All the fights you take are kind of... I mean, even from like T steps towards top mid, you can still get the 1 shot off of the AK. Like, they're fair enough firefights. You don't really need a scope.
Plus, how many times are you actually going to be facing that with an AK?
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's like you wouldn't ever be in that situation, right? But that's the longest distance you probably will have a fight, other than top banana to T stairs, which again, you're perfectly fine with the rifle. So Big are in a very good position here to take this half. A lot more firepower available to them. Just the Deagles on the NiP side. And they do have that man up though as well. So Rez, he's not had a fantastic game so far. He's going to be tested at this B site. There's 4 players coming in towards him.
Okay, flashbang from Forest. Going to be prepped as he pulls the pin. Flashbang in. Rez can now go for the peak. They are blind. Took a couple of spams, but he gets the kill. And as she said, the bomb's going to drop through. This makes it harder for the T's, but Godby finally gets himself into the game. Going to find that headshot. They need to plant soon, though, next. Oh.
Just about. If he peeks off up, he could get him. Oh, if he peeks that tiny little gap, he could just kill him right there. Very risky, but, like, you know...
Well, especially seeing as how he got stuck on his teammate, nearly didn't jump up the ledge. If he would have messed it up, you know, when you jump twice, you get slowed down a little bit. True. That could have been rough.
So all in all, 8-7 is probably a fair scoreline, considering what we've seen. Like, it's not been like one team has been significantly better.
Yeah.
It's been very topsy-turvy. Neither team really stamping authority in the game. And as you said, very reminiscent of the game yesterday. Like, you know, a lot of rounds which you felt like they shouldn't have lost, rounds they shouldn't have won. You know, both ways as well. Both teams won an eco round which they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that back-to-back 2 rounds that were
straight on it.
Just quite bizarre, really. But now we do go through. We're going to be coming into the second half here. So Big have a 1-round advantage, obviously winning the half 8-7. The interesting thing is, last time it felt like their CT side is where they sort of got their heads in the game and they were able to lock it down from that point. But individually, it seems like it's only really Next that's performing right now. That's the difference. Yesterday, it seemed like it was a pretty good split. We had Next coming into effect. Smooya had a good series. tabseN was playing very well the entire time.
Yeah, tabseN has been doing okay as well. But I'm just trying to think, like, Godby just got his first kill of the game. And that was in the 15th round.
Last round of the half, and with a Krieg of all weapons.
Yeah. And it was against a pistol. But at least, you know, that has come on the board, right? Smooya's had a bit of a quiet game. I suppose that's because he hasn't had North very often. You know, the money's not been there for them to actually utilise it. And obviously now the pistol. Fast peek towards mid by looks things. This is really aggressive. And tiziaN started off strong, but Lekro gets the trade instantly. and it's a fast B split. It's just got B on this side. You've got to be thinking he doesn't get these kills. It's not had a great game, and that doesn't look great for the start.
No, it doesn't. Here, go on. You do the casting, I'll do the sound.
The sound. Palmer's been.
There we go. See, I'm really good at doing the sound. I'm quite good. I'm actually professional at that one.
Yeah, you did the voice, did you?
Yeah. Thump. That's the noise of Tabson dropping, but we're back into it, man.
No kit is the issue, yeah. Retaking that B bomb site, even with a kit, it still is a big ask. And honestly, the save, it's not a bad call to make. Like, Nex and Tabson, both players who've been playing really well, they know this is a bad situation to go into, and Tabson gets dinked on the way out. And they can smell the blood. They're trying to run after him. He is actually opening with fight, though.
Cheeky little headshot. Nex might actually able to just sit here and save that armor. Potentially, they're going to push through. Oh, gets the shot off. And he save it. Time should be ending very shortly, but get right in the last millisecond there. Connects him with the uppercut and takes down Nex. So denies the armor save, and they equalize it. Goes 8-8.
So you can see the differentials there. 19 kills for Tabson, 19 for Nex, 10, 9, and then 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite a disparity, isn't it? You've got 3 tiers there on that side, whereas on NiP you've got a sort of middling pack of 4 players, then just Rez slightly behind. So it seems to be a bit of a party at the A bomb site above the forklift. Just the one player trusted towards B. And that's a really bad fight to lose for Forest. Surely there's going to be some backers to mow these down. But somehow it's going quite even. It's quite weird.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, they're trading quite effectively, but with just pistols. And they bring it back into a 2 versus 3. Rez going to spam out ever so slightly, gets brought down to 70 HP. Oh, Smooya! He misses, but he gets the backstab, tries to grab the gun. Will be slain. That's going to be a bit of a frustrating play at the very least.
Imagine that, though. Like, you missed the first slash. Imagine if he just stood there, it's like, well.
Yeah. I'll accept this one then.
I'll hopefully get the second guy.
Yeah.
That's such a weird one. That means he gets a pretty good buy next round as well. That's 1,500 extra. He gets 2,400 for this. He's got 5,950. So, or Kevlar, Smoke, Flash. Like, that's a really good buy. And on the other side of it, NiP, they lost 2 AKs this round. Like, it was an SMG as well. But you got to be thinking that highway fight, there was no flashes being used or anything.
Yeah.
Very, very bizarre. So Tabson actually did get an AK as well. They didn't try and dispose of those guns. So I imagine that will be kept for him, because God B will accept he'll have not many grenades into this round. Question is, what can NiP do from the first buy round of this half? Because NiP did actually manage to take that round away, and the AUG has been bought by God B. So that's another one, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've seen the Krieg and now the AUG. So he's trying out both the guns on either side. I mean, I guess if he's having
go up, right?
Yeah. If he's having a bit of a rough day, you might as well.
So if you remember the cash game we saw from Big last week, it involved a lot of leaving Smooya on his own towards this site. And Godbeat has been tested with that gun, and honestly, there's a lot of whiffed sprays everywhere on the map right now.
Oh. It was a good read from Smooya. He knew they were going to chuck in the Molotov, so dropped out the instant smoke. Oh, he's trying to stay alive. Yeah. I mean, at the very least, he survived way longer than he ever should have.
You can see the lack of comms there from Lecro. He actually got the kill on Smooya, but Getray still thought he was alive.
Yeah.
He's carried on shooting that same smoke. But look how low the big players are, and they've only got 1 kill for it. Next needs to go absolutely massive on this site, if they have a chance.
Can Next have his monster frags into this round, finds the first, takes a small amount of damage. Couldn't get the follow-up though, leaves it into the hands of God B and Tizian. But they're both so low. And it really isn't worth it. This will probably be another round picked up now. 4 Ninjas in Pyjamas taking it to a 10-8 scoreline. Get Right is just lurking as well. So Tizian, if he gets ever so slightly overconfident, he will go down. God B going to save that AWP for Smooya at the very least.
Hopefully Tizian saves that AUG for God B. It's worth more, after all. How aggressive is Get Right going to be with this lurk, then? He should have got the timing on that. And I think he heard... Yeah, he did. He heard that scope.
Ooh. He's low as well,
Ben. The Cossack keeps returning straight back onto God B, and God B's going for the aggressive play towards it as well. There's a tiny little gap at the side of that, I think.
Yeah, the little close position.
But they've played out the other side. They know he's in the smoke. Surely the kill will come through. And it does. So that Not a great situation for a save.
No. I mean, I don't think it could have gone any worse than that, possibly, into that round.
Gobby doesn't get the kill, I guess.
Yeah.
$100. That is probably the worst possible, I suppose.
Because Forest is now able to use that warp as well. That was brought over.
So the only player we haven't seen... Oh no, we have seen all 4 players use the AWP on the NiP other than GetRight. GetRight's always the one who never uses it. But we saw Rez whiff a few shots. Dennis was okay with his. Lecro was fine with his. Forest didn't really get a chance.
It is odd, the AWPing dynamic on NiP still.
Yeah, there's no primary, is there? It's just a case of, are you feeling it?
Who's feeling it? Okay. Who's got a spawn? Who wants to actually go for the pick? Because it is quite sort of a bit of a throwback whenever it falls into the hands of Forest. And he's still very effective with the weapon.
Yeah, it's one of those things, if you've got the positioning to work with it, you'll always be able to get kills with it, right?
Yeah.
Because whether it's defensive or aggressive, put yourself in the right position. As long as you're able to just, you know, get the simple click, that is it, right? I was going to say, how long does it take for Smooth to go aggressive? And that's a fantastic peak. They haven't heard him retreat either. They're actually letting Lecro go in first, along with an AWP. So that's why.
Yeah, I mean, the trades come back through, though. Tabson popping off with the Deagle, as he is just laying them out one by one. Sheer excellence with the hand cannon, Ben. 4 kills found. How is he doing this?
Another round which shouldn't really be going in Big's favour, and somehow it does. They save the AWP. They've got now 2 AWPs in play. Tabson and Smooth. We saw them use it a lot on Dust 2 on day 1, I believe, this week. And the question is, what can they get done with it now? NiP, the money is not there. Even though they won 3 rounds in a row, they didn't quite have many people alive. They opt for that eco. Rez with a Deagle. Forest with another one as well. Going to be relying on those to get involved this round.
So Tizzy are now playing on the close angle. Going to be giving NiP a taste of their own medicine. If they do burst out and swarm through the mid, he should be there to just blanket statement take them down. But NiP playing it slow into the round. No overconfidence just yet.
Yeah, Big playing slow enough that they don't lose too much utility from this. They know it is a pistol round from NiP. They know we don't need to smoke things as much. If we can save Molotovs, definitely do it. Otherwise, just hold on to them, use them up where you would. But if you think about it from NiP's perspective, the amount of Molotovs we've heard go off so far, just towards like mid and door as well. And NiP are thinking, well, we've forced them to rebuy, what, $2,400 worth of utility alone. And the late B-Bus will come through. Smooth's been here all round with his AWP. He does have support from Gobby in the vent as well. That flash is perfectly timed to actually delay them ever so slightly.
I think they go for the run boost.
Oh, actually run boost. He actually lands on the first guy.
That was tasty! Smooth with a double. Nice. Smooth hat trick.
It felt like they hit like a skybox, isn't it? Because the jump wasn't very high, was it? Was it because the guy who run boosted him tried jumping at the same time as well? Because I did notice the second guy in, he did a little jump.
Potentially. I guess that would give him more lift, and then you might hit the top of the roof, which could slow you down.
Isn't it? I'm trying to wonder, did he like slip off but get a bit of a jolt?
Might have jumped a little bit too early. Maybe.
But NiP do buy straight back into it. Score is tied now, 10-10. Not the first time we've seen it tied. That's me. He's going to go for the aggressive peak. Normally they jump onto that little wooden bit next to the vent to go for this. Flash comes through, he goes for the peak. They're both away though. Surely not. GetRight's right next to him.
What? Oh! The unzoom headshot!
Oh my god, he's shot straight through the Molotov. GetRight with the AWP now. All 5 players have used it.
Ben, he's not an AWPer, but he absolutely is playing like one as he just punishes. GetRight with a hat trick. The revenge for the no-scope from Smoo.
So NiP were doing a strat that we used to do on pistol. Send 2 towards B, and then you'd burst door later on. Instead, GetRight's got 3 kills towards B, and it's kind of changed the dynamic of this round. Tabson's not biting though. He's staying towards A. Nex is looking for that kill. The question is, will NiP run when they're in like the T main sort of area? Because if they do, Nex probably will hear them on the way out, or on the way in rather. They're walking the whole way. If they check checkers fully, it should be easy run for NiP, but next, he'll get the sound cues now. He knows they're coming.
Oh, good play as well. Takes the aggressive stance, gets the initial frags. He will eliminate Forest, tries to get more, but it cannot be done. The bomb needs to go down ASAP as well, and Tabson will just go for the save. Realizes that it's not worth it at this point. It's a 1 versus 3, AWP retake on B. It's never going to happen.
You can see the money on their side, right? They've Smoothie will be on like 7k, God be about 6.5. They know we can buy next. Don't bother trying to force this. He's got full grenades. He's got everything. He's about got about $8,000 worth of value. So you can see the more stats coming up here. So this is technically, I believe it is still the second half stats, isn't it? Because Panorama, they haven't quite adjusted it.
Yeah.
So ultimately, not much too crazy stuff going on there, was there? It was like quite low flashes. There wasn't much. We haven't seen much like rushes or anything, have we? So the flashes have mostly been used to get territory, and we haven't seen people fighting for it just yet.
It's also been sort of very individualistic plays from NiP. Like into this round, Smoothie with a somehow sort of luck on his side. Jesus was his co-pilot, Ben, and he found that no scope. But Get Right just punishing with the AWP, and everyone on that team has now had a bit of a game with a weapon.
So Lekra is going for Mach 10 because he feels like the buy will not be as strong. Unfortunately for him, 2 of the players on the CT side do have head armor, and otherwise they have good firepower as well. This is a heavy B rush. They're going straight into Smoothie's AWP though. He doesn't have the spot of God B this round. He needs to land the first shot.
Oh, gets a huge tag off, but he himself brought down to 47, overwhelmed as they just sprint their way back through. Tizian going to charge up to the elevated angle, tries to get the first information. He does push out, and he finds one frag, but he's stuck there, as you said. The Molotov has gone down. He can't try and peel back from it. Keeps on going, Ben. But Get Right with the flick around. Rez just eliminates Lekro for no damn reason.
There wasn't even a CT in proximity. That's so bizarre.
Maybe they didn't call that they found the kill, and
I'm not too sure. But Rez, he's living ever so scarily right now. 3 HP. And the Norp, of course. Bogdan's Law. Don't think he'll be able to move from this area, though. Push comes in, taken up by next. 2v2 now.
Get Right with 1, the execution as he decapitates the first man. Tabson, 1v1 versus Forest. They both have AWPs. Time is ticking away. He's going to tap the bomb to try and force the face. Forest, a man with a lot of experience in these situations, no reason to peek it, realizes as such. Tabson trying to tap the bomb, couldn't even get it there, and Forest will find the frag. They go 12-10. Big, struggling into this matchup.
Imagine how cleanly that round would have gone if they had that extra player.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's killed him. It was so out of the blue, like
all players dead on site, and it was a good 4 seconds
after Tizian had fallen off and got killed.
Yeah. Who's AFK?
Next. Can't believe that.
Cheers, son's crying.
What is he doing?
There we go.
He's back.
He's had enough after that round. They killed their own teammates and we've still lost.
So Godby still only has the 3 kills. This is now round 23 we're playing through. It's all well and good to have that impact as an IGL, right? But at some point you have to question the mechanical side of it. Like there was always the question regarding players like Pronak's existence, right? And in Source existence, he was a capable.
Oh, he was a king. Yeah.
Pronak's early Fnatic, he wasn't fantastic, but he was able to make the players around him be as good as they were.
Yeah. Also at the time, that's the thing, he didn't need to be.
Yeah, that was the other part of it. He had Flasher, Olaf, JW, and Crims, who were all outrageous.
They were on top of the world at the time.
And now God B, he's got a good set of players around him. And they're all playing, 2 of them playing above average right now, Nex and Tabson, I'd say. And the other 2 playing about their average sort of style of play. And the scoreline is so close that if you had one player getting another 2-3 kills, at the minimum, is a different scoreline, right? Because 3 is not enough.
That's the thing. I mean, if you had Smoothie playing to the additional level he can, where he sort of, he breaks through that skill ceiling, has a really huge game, it could be insane. Even if God B was just performing average, just having a sort of standard game, because normally God B,
even 10, 12 kills, that sort of thing.
He can still be a formidable player. It's just he's been such an awkward position throughout the game. It feels like he really has been slumped out. Site pushes, he's not even had a chance for the majority of that T side. He was just getting his head knocked off. Has been unfortunate. And now they're really in a do-or-die position as well, Ben. It's 13-10. This is crunch time now. If you lose these rounds, you pretty much start to lose the game.
Yeah, very much do or die, as you said. the crazy bit is 2 of the kills that godb actually has were exit frags. There was that kill last round, there was one with the AWP as well. So technically, I would love to see where the actual kills did come in, whether or not they won those rounds as well. Because otherwise, he has literally 0 impact in terms of mechanical
I don't think they've been impact frags. I mean, the only round we saw him get 1 kill that might have been an impact frag was with the Creek at the end of the first half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Other than that, I think they are more just sort of dead kills, really.
So the A-smokes come in from a low boost, and I do love that position when it comes to effect. The trade is there, though. So it is still 4v4, a minute left. Forest re-smoking towards top of high... Oh, actually smoking towards Z. So these sites, they've given up mid fully. Whichever site NiP go to, they'll have a man advantage, regardless. Unless they force the issue too early. Dennis does that, and he actually gets the kill into godb as well. Just Smooya left in the site. Assistance is far away.
Oh, Smooya. Depends on the time of the peaks here. He's getting a read, but he misses the shot. Ben drops out the flash to, at the very least, give an opportunity to a strike. Oh, he hit that shot, but you can't help but feel like he was actually aiming for Get Right. And Get Right doubles down. Forrest with a final frag into the round as well. So 2 kills for him. 14-10. And that round was a biggie. Losing it leaves them in such a dire position. This could be the win for NiP here on Cash now.
Yeah, this should be all but match point secured, right? Because Big, you see, going for a half by godb initiated that call, CZ armor. Nobody else is actually going for the armor aspect, but there are pistols available.
What do they do with it as well? That's the question.
Smooya's going so aggressive at B.
He's tried this before though. They expect the angle.
Corner, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think they think he's here because of that Molotov. Gets the first kill. Surely he shouldn't get anything else.
He shouldn't even be able to get away.
Does get the gun in the Molotov. He throws it through the smoke. That's a really smart play. godb gets the gun and he's got armor. But it's not your ideal player to have it, is it?
Oh, he wasn't having the best game, but at least he finds 1 frag there with a headshot over on towards Lekro. Tizzy with the timing. He arrives on the scene, but he's been tagged down quite heavily. And they're still fighting this. All 3 players from either team just grouped up, ready for a war.
Still have to live there. He got double Molotov in checkers.
It's a gang fight, Ben.
There's 2 players in the vent. 3 kill there. And next with a good trade. Still 2v2. But I said, if they had armor, this situation looks much better, right?
Yeah.
They might regret that later on in this round. Next needs to go for some kind of info towards B. Because Tabson's covering the exit, but they could have gone through T-spawn is the issue.
Tabson and next, the last 2 remaining CTs. They have 1 AK between both of the players. Tabson with his eagle. The first frag's pivotal! Forrest peeked into him. It's given to him for free, Ben. And the kill comes back from Rez. Rez debating whether or not what site he wants to push to, trying to fake a little bit there. We'll go over towards the A site though. Sprints the entire way. It is a race between 2 sides. And Nex will be in close second just behind him. Rez, he'll have time to plant the bomb. He had 10 seconds and luckily that's more than enough time to plant and fall into a good post-plant position. The utility was 1 smoke, 1 flash as well. Drops out the smoke. How does he play it from this point? Gonna fall back. Wait for the meantime, holding a tasty angle.
It's a right-hand peek for Next on the other side. Next, no armor, as I mentioned earlier. If it's a firefight, it favors Rez every day.
Next, up top, drops down. Gets detected, spammed through. Annihilated. Doesn't want his AK. And that is going to be a 15-10 scoreline. Ben, Ninjas in Pajamas. Locking it down here, big. They had a huge win versus FaZe yesterday on Cash, but they just don't look like the same team today.
Yeah, when you consider the half was 8-7 to Big, it's not been a very good comparison there. 8 rounds to 2 since the half.
Yeah.
And they've had, you know, the money's actually been okay for them, man. Forrest gets that kill. How is he still alive?
Still fighting as well.
Ooh, next was really good spam back onto Lekro there as well. So this is a better start for them at least. You know, the trade was there. A lot of damage put out too. This nade is massive. Right on top of 2 of them. Oh,
yeah,
damage to 3. So every player right now on the NiP side is 1 shot with an M4 to the head right now. So that's a ridiculously good advantage to have. That spam is actually ever so close as well. So Big, they decided to clear out mid after knowing NiP did take it fully. As soon as they get that info, they'll be able to pull away and actually split back to 2 and 2, I imagine.
Confidence is there as well. Next, taking that firefight, knowing that he did damage with the grenade. So much easier to take those peaks when you can just try and wield the M4 like an AK, go for the early headshots.
A good flash here, Ruins next. The only flash available, though, is Dennis, and he's actually the one on boost. So I suppose they're trying to hope that there's enough influence on the other side of the map that he's able to get one of the rotates. Smoke out a door, smoke from A main to highway as well. Dennis will be making his impact very soon.
Oh, Dennis with a peek towards mid goes down to Nex. The two players on the A site are going to be Tabson and God B. The burst comes around. Tabson through the smoke gets the kill on Lekro. The uppercut comes out from God B as Rez will hit the deck. And that is 15 to 11. Big. They're keeping themselves in the game. The double AWP set up there that came out into the previous round having some effect with Tabson being able to find those frags. Nex, incredibly useful towards mid. But how long can they keep themselves in it, Ben? Match point has been achieved for NiP. They're the ones that are driving the game right now.
So this is an interesting. Lekro, there's two flashes. This flash over towards A, I'm not too sure if it actually gets them very well. It's a partial flash, but Tabson's missing everything.
Luckily, you've got Nex there. He will get the 2K, but that is it. They're completely out of commission. Tizian has to rotate in to try and hit him with a triumphant Tizian attack. We'll get the first headshot off. Eliminates Forest. Rez, rapid fire from behind the forklift. But he might be lifted out of the round. Rez, one deagle kill picked up, and it is all on to Lekro in a 1-on-2. He gets the tag.
Nade. Oh, I don't think he knows he has a nade. Otherwise, that situation might be completely different. Smooth just wasting these flashes, but he's holding the angle. He should be able to see the barrel around this corner any second now. Oh, it's just away from him.
He doesn't overextend. Goes back, gets the kill. 1-on-1 versus Smooya. It's the battle of the AWPs. If Smooya peeks into it because of the bomb plant, Ben, he should be picked. Lekro, focusing towards short right now. Expect him to come up that highway angle. Smooya just holds. Realizes it's worth just keeping himself impatient until he hears that bomb going down.
Smooya's got the infinite advantage here just because he knows Lekro, he has to be on the left side of sight.
He can't get off site.
It's a right-hand peek for Smooya as well. And Lekro knows he's probably holding that side.
Here we go, Ben.
Taps it again. But the scope noise, it gives it away.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Strump faces, peeks into it. Smooya, it's such an easier position there, obviously. He knows he's trapped on site. You've got him knocked down the entire time. It's one of those where your options are either really sort of just try and go for a fight, peek him, see if you can catch him off guard, or sort of accept fate, really, and try and run the risk of getting a bomb plant.
Yeah, but ultimately, that was a half-buy sort of situation. They got 4 kills with it, and Big, they lose that secondary up that they did have, and they acquire an AUG in the form of God B. So, I wouldn't say that's the most even trade in the world for guns, but...
And we didn't see this before from God B.
Good nade.
This wasn't coming out yesterday, so it feels like now, purely because he's not having the best game, he is just trying out the AUG, trying out the Krieg.
Yeah. I suppose if you're able to use it in the correct situation, you are probably going to get a higher chance of getting the kill.
Because we have seen him using the M4A1S as well.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that, technically, if you take it into consideration, the AUG kind of is like a 30-bullet M4.
Yeah, I suppose that's one alternative.
So if you don't want the M4A1S, but you can't trade it out, you could just buy the AUG.
As long as you know the spray pattern, does God B know it? Does know the burst pattern.
He knows how to wield the weapon, Ben. He gets the first frag. Finds that headshot over on Rez, brings it into the 3 versus 3. They've got 55 seconds left on the clock here as well, but the T's are starting to advance and get into close angles. God B.
Tizian's in door, though.
How much damage can he do with this AUG? Ooh, the backstab, he spotted him.
Should be the second one as well. There's enough distraction. Force the issue. Just Dennis alive. Just a matter of time, I feel.
Oof.
Wait, hang on.
Dennis! Benny's on 6 HP. He's found 2 headshots. It's a 1 versus 1.
He thinks the AWP's on site. Oh my god,
oh!
Smooya missed!
Smooya misses the shot. He gives him the golden opportunity of a lifetime. He's going to be able to sprint away. 20 seconds on the clock in this 1 versus 1. Smooya has an M4. Dennis, he's got the Kalashnikov.
Sound nice.
Smooya. It's a great position to cut him off. Has to break the vent though, but he dives in, gets the kill. No real time on the clock there. Dennis just had to try and A-line it towards the site. And it does not work out for him. But the fact it went down to such a close margin is very, very scary.
So this obviously going to be an NiP tack pause. The half buy coming in from NiP, I imagine. It'll be pistol armor, and I think a strat of some kind towards whether it's A or B, just a heavy strat take would be the best call right now. Just because if you're able to weaken their money as much as you can, obviously you stand the chance of winning the round with that buy. If you do just go for a fast B execute, like a VP burst or something. But you also know you're going to buy next round regardless. You can still win this game. And on the big side, I did see a MP9 get bought. So somebody trying to, I think it was Tizian, trying to take advantage of that.
We've got two musics here. I just realised.
Yeah.
There was the in-game CS one and the Pro League one. I was trying to work out what was going on. I was like, wow, it's a funky beat. Well, 15 to 13, Ben, as the buys come back through. Mostly just a pistol investment there for NiP. Yeah, just going to run in with a Tech 9. Smooth is incredibly blind. Oh, it misses the shot as well.
Liked him as well.
Now they're in close range, Ben. They can run away with this. This could be the round still for NiP. It's a 4 versus 3. You've given Get Right the AWP. Got beat from the backline. Going to be slapped by Rez as he will go down. Nex and Tabson are in such a tedious position here. This is going to be incredibly awkward for them.
They know where both players are as well. Tabson missing the spray and Nex falls as well. It's one of those rounds you hate to see the loss come through because it was just a B rush. Smuya was able to get into checkers again without being seen, and he misses the shot. And then he only tags him through the corner of the wall.
If he would have got that shot off, at the very least, I mean, they were lining up. That could have been 2 players there. That could have just single-handedly saved the day. Even if you just find one, deny, save a little bit of time for your teammates. Instead, as soon as they get into that close-range position, you're just screwed. I mean, they've got the Tech 9s. What are you going to do?
Even the player on site, I don't know who it was, it might have been got B. He more so towards headshot and kind of looked away. But whichever player charged through it, he was just like, I'm going straight through this. So this is a way for me to just capitalise. And the round is free at that point. Lekro even got a kill towards mid, too.
You've been owned. Press 1 to confirm. Demo is free, Ben.
Might have to press 1.
Yeah, demo is free. But that is that first map wrapped up, as we do see Ninjas in Pyjamas getting the win over Big. The odds were stacked against them, but they felt confident, and they've proven that they can still play some effective CS. And that is map 1 done and dusted. We'll be back in with a second map after the break. For the meantime, enjoy the highlights.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.